Sacrifice the fish. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the story of the Roadwardens. We were last left off chilling at the old Pelt's Inn. We just got our money for helping the scavenger come here and escape. We took his money. We didn't take the bottle of pee. At least that's what we think it is. I wanted to try... Oh, go to the well. We can't... Wait. Oh. It's because... Wait a minute. I saw this in the character sheet. Right, we are clean, but the low vitality and our clothes are torn and worn. Damn it. And what's all this? Engaging in combat helps you during... Pardon me? Sparing, depending on your beliefs, saving and sparing animals either makes you a weakling or soothes your soul. Hello? We're an eremite. Our faith is undetermined. We have no... Lies gives you quick benefits, but may turn against you after some time. Yo! Sowing experience! Gambling helps you in luck base. So the more we gamble, the better we get. I love it. I love that it's tracking like lies and stuff. Okay. We gotta keep an eye on this stuff. And increases the chance of dying in combat. There is death in this game. That is scary. Okay. I step away. I go to the inn. I go to the innkeeper. And I notice this. You can ask about people. And I want to ask about somebody. I want to tell me about... Okay, what was their name? Dali. Ah, our Dali. Why do you ask? I've noticed since she was a girl, so you'd better not bother her. If you're looking for a master of the crossbow, she's an obvious pick. How about... Thias. Is that the name of the person? It was like someone from the other town? People say she's a good mayor, but she's rich from birth. Oh, so also careless. She doesn't know the struggle, the hunger and dirt, so fancies her clothes more than one should. She thinks she keeps her village safe, even though it's the druids who do all the work. He looks down, but finally speaks again. She may be frivolous, but isn't stupid. If you're smart, better keep your eyes open. Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on that whole village. It stinks of midsummer. How about... Who else do we know? Do we know any humans? I love how it keeps track of the names. Who's Quintus? Oh, Quintus is the gatekeeper. Tulia. Let's ask about Tulia. How about Tulia? I ain't seen Tulia in quite some time. Since your squad vanished in the fogs, she's been careful. Glad to know she's still alive. She's too inexperienced to lead others to battle, I think. He shrugs. Like most people, she needs to follow others. But she already knows that. There's nothing worse than a fire too stupid to limit their ambitions. Isn't Tulia the girl who's trying to get married? Wait a minute. Who the hell is Tulia? One of the last soldiers in the battalion. She's stationed at the military camp in the south. Oh! Right. We know her. She was the first lieutenant that we met in the camp at the beginning of the game. Okay. Akakios? The treasure of the village. Responsible to... Okay, let's ask about this guy. Akakios. How about... Akakios? The big guy, right? We barter and howlers with him. We got coins, food, supplies, and linen, so don't expect him to give you any good prices for furs and trophies. Big guy, you say? He actually lost a lot of weight. That's good to hear, he smiles. It's better for the heart and lungs, and soul also. Okay, I think that's like pretty much everybody we really know. How about... Reginald Stoutworthy. I don't know them. What? Stoutworthy. Don't get awkward, Roadwarden. Okay. we'll leave that be. I really wanted to sleep. I think we're not going to be able to sleep in the city until we get the trust. Unless... Is it in here? Food rations, elk, fur. I would love to get this so we can sleep on the road. That's all I need. Head to the armor. Can you patch my clothes? But you can try in Howler's Den or Gale Rocks. I leave the shed. Okay. Okay, I think we gotta leave. We're gonna do down here first. Let's... Wait, how much time do we have left in the day? Yeah, why not? Let's see... Oh, we're almost dead, though. This is the problem. We can die in this game. We need sleep. I think we call it a day. We head back. Maybe we check on our fish. Before we go, we head back. We pay the man for a nice shelter. Oh, we can't even do it. Alright, let's keep traveling. Let's go to Howler's Den. The tailor. I need your services. Outfit repair. We have 4 gold. I think we gotta pay 1 to fix the outfit. It's gonna help with our cleanliness and everything. Pay it. Alright. Good luck. Timo is the person that I'm thinking of. I go to the main square. Akakios. How about some useful herbs or ornaments? You do have druids around here. Will nay happen, sparse supplies. He puts a finger to his lips, giving it a slight bite. The druids are better at casting healing than making bombs. Used to be different, but magic's stronger regardless. Before you can change the topic, he points northeast. Try by White Marshes. These... What's-his-face, a warlock there, who used to take lessons at our village from an old archdruid. If anyone around here knows his way around leaves, 'tis him. Okay, okay. About the potion. Did you get it? Soon. I have no memory of this place. What do you have for sale? Oh, right, the battle axe and a wooden lantern, linen fabric. Oh my god. I bring goods to sell. No. Nothing for now. I walk away. Innkeeper. I need a few rations. You'll get as much food as you can eat in a proper bath with laundry. I want to know if this heals me. A set to help you keep your teeth clean. Wait a minute. Does sleep only activate when it's nighttime? Oh, that's probably what happens. We can buy this. We can freaking buy this. We can buy this. But we need money for like a nice sleep. You'll get as much food as you can eat in a proper bath with laundry. I think we gotta hold on to our money, I think. We're not ready for that. Thanks. Let's I want to... Oh, can't I ask to help people? It's too late to ask the locals about work. Oh, I think we wasted this day. In that case, damn, I kind of want to go all the way back to the other place so we could sleep there, but I'm not 100% it will let us. Let me ponder. Right. I think what we'll do instead, let's take a chance and maybe we go up here and talk to the guy at the gate. We came all the way. I don't want to go back and forth, but I do not want to spend the night here because if we do it down here, it'll be cheaper, I think, and we can check the fish along the way. This will take us 45, if we can make it back there in time, 2 hours. How much time is left? We have 4 hours. We should be fine. We should be fine. Let's go to the gate. Talk to old Quintus here. About your duty. What there to say? Eason will allow you to stay at his inn. You'll help him as a guard on the walls, but he won't pay you unless you can prove yourself. He crosses his arms, still hesitant. I guess that's fair. But what before that? Am I to live on oats and water and rags? If you're really this desperate for coins, I could spare you a few enough for you to get comfortable at the inn. I can't spare you any money, man. Dude, I just got you a job. Can you do anything for yourself? much money? How much money do I have to spare you? We need this for the inn. Oh, Jesus. Let's return this later. About your duty. Oh, God. He steps away. You already helped me quite a bit. I can't ask you for that. At least 19 coins to make him head to the inn? You gotta be shitting me. It's cheaper to make to hire a war band to kill a group of goblins in a disease-ridden town than to make this guy get off his ass. We're out of here. Holy crap, we're going back to our boys in the Pelt of the North. That's absolutely unreasonable. Okay, yeah, sleep is now good. The lights are prominent. The guards have bows and spears in hand. Some rush to get only to close the right again at your side. Bored with life, Roadwarden, one of them grumbles. Hadn't you noticed it's almost dark? I get off my horse and enter the inn. The counter, the scavenger is still there. I approach the scavenger. Enjoying your stay? Okay, he scratches the chicken beautifully. I feel like I've eaten a troll shit, eh? When I landed here, I had a pile of bundles and trinkets, and now I'll start with nothing again. I should have listened to the warnings. This land belongs to no man. Okay. And let's go back. Go to the innkeeper. I don't think I can buy anything, right? I've already bought one. All right, let's sleep. And we're gonna rent. We need to. The sound of rain wake you up briefly. Before you return to sleep, you think about your plans. Riding in the mud is difficult. Gordon will have some rough time, especially on the unpaved grounds. Oh, it's a rainy day? It may be a good day to take a break at an inn. You hear a thunderous roar. You rise to your feet and rub the sleep from your eyes. The doors are opening. People are shouting orders and words of warning. As you open the window, you see what's behind the commotion. Something is on the other side of the wall, trying to get through, and the guards are fighting it off with their torches, spears, and crossbows. Thanks to their light, you see the large furry paws placed on the wall, on the top of the wall, walk. As far as you can tell, the beast is but a single leap away from getting inside. I want to help them, but we might die. You know, we paid for this sleep, but we got to help them, right? These are our only friends. Oh shit. And we can't use force. We're in a bad state to be doing this. I need to help them. You look for your gambeson blade, still a bit foggy in your thoughts, and once you find them, you struggle to get inside the jacket. As your habits kick in, you see the innkeeper right in front of you holding the candle. You're a guest. Stay here, he says without a shadow of hesitation. My team has no time to worry about outsiders. Just after his words, you hear cheerful laughter from the wall. Judging by the way they point their fingers and lower their weapons, the beast is fleeing. Oh, okay, thank God, because we were gonna die. Well, I shouldn't expect people will need my help all the time. If I had been there, maybe we could have caught it. This is really cool character building. Well, I shouldn't expect people will need my help all the time. Yeah, I think that's it. People are very capable in this world. It's a rough place. If people are still alive and thriving in here, they know what they're doing. The small room is quiet and far away from unwanted eyes. You take a calm bath, rest on a soft mattress, look through the window, and enjoy the minutes of safety. In the morning, you find a stool with a large wooden plate bearing an aromatic breakfast, a fresh pie with deer meat, onions, and coriander. Downstairs, the innkeeper is putting firewood into the stove. He asks if you need anything. Very cool. Show me your wares. Buy food rations. We're spending all our money. We got so much food, but I think this is going to keep us going for a long time. That's all I need. The armor is nowhere in sight. I approach the guards. We have a single coin left. Let's throw some dice. You better believe it. I'm ready when you are. Let's go. Shit. We're always second best. How about are we getting better? We have slight gambling experience. I'm looking for knowledge. It's getting cheaper. I walk away. Just a moment, she runs out in front of you, cutting her way with her wide grin. Want to help us out? I spoke with her boss and I kinda need a rider. What do you need? We could use another pair of hands here, someone who knows their way around the woods. You start to explain that you'd rather stick to the saddle, but she waves it off. So help me find a better soul. There are two people I've heard of who would like to join us. Erastos from Howler's Dell and Cassia from Gale Rocks. She rubs the side of her boar, then pushes it away gently as if she's asking a child to play by itself for a few minutes. The thing is, we already have hunters who used to live in these places, and they told me they ain't all too eager to welcome them here. I'd like you to speak with them both, and to ask the folks from their tribes about them. Before I make a decision whom should I invite, I need to be sure they can handle the job. Alright, what's in it for me? Coins, duh, she giggles. How about 5? I'll give you a few more if you amaze me with all the news you bring. I think we know why we can't hire Quintus. Who's this Erastos? A trapper. A few months ago he told a passing by caravan he wanted to leave his home and asked them to bring us this message. One of his past neighbors told me he remembers Erastos as a weak, quiet boy. I ain't sure he knows how to fight, but we'd rather use traps anyways. She mentioned to Asterion she'd like to come here. She's a guard, but I've heard she's more of a talker than a fighter. Gale Rocks is so far away I'd really prefer not to travel there, but if she's the better choice, I may have no other option. How about Quintus? Your question sparked playful comments when it came out. He's a great friend, she admits, but he can't be trusted with the delicate tasks. When possible, we'd rather avoid using muscle alone. What matters the most is getting out of trouble with as few scratches as possible. Hey, we're pretty good at that. We just scream at griffins. 20 griffins, they ran away. Did you hear about that? Huh? Did you hear about it? Any tips? She glances at the other guards. Ask as many people as you can. In small villages, you never know who sleeps with whom. I'll tell you if I learn anything. Sure, I'm happy to help these people. I go to the well. I step away from the well. I enter the inn. I approach the scavenger. Goodbye. I go to the well. I step away from the well. Wait. The muddy road slows you down. They said we should probably just take a rest here. Will resting help my vitality? I feel like this is like a tutorialization almost. Do we have no money, don't we? We just gambled it all away. Rest. Resting at the inn. You spend the entire day taking care of the smaller chores and allow your shell and soul to rest. I like this. Rest. Do it. Oh. Amazing. It's been a relaxing day, but free of boredom. You spent almost an hour looking after your mount, but at least it's now clean and cheerful. You patch holes in your bundles to the soothing sounds of a late summer drizzle. At one point, you were invited to some friendly combat practice with the hunters, and you made sure not to take it too easy. Sitting beneath an open window, 3 guards are arguing about something, but then ease the tension with friendly banter. The innkeeper is dusting the counter and the shelves with a cloth. The scavenger is sitting on a stool using his knife to turn a log of wood into a new cup. This is all the same stuff. And that's all the same as well. The guards are on watch. Okay, I think we just have to sleep. But we can't rent anything. Okay. That's okay. We got 2 vitality. I'm happy. So resting a day will help us with our vitality. It's a calm, warm night. As your first sleep ends, you stretch out and prepare yourself for an active hour or 2. It's time to take care of some things that must be done at least once every few days, though they are a bit more challenging than your nightly routine. It's time for my training. I practice cuts, stances, dodges, and steps, but also inspect every blade I own. Is this like a mini level up, like I'm gaining experience? That's cool. The uncomfortable sleeping spot and the sounds of conversations of closing doors wake you up a few times during the night. Nevertheless, your back survives. The morning air here is stuffy, and the innkeeper is already starting to fire in the stove. He asks if you need anything. Not at all. We have no money. We spent all our fortune. I think we just head out. Gordon is lazy looking around. At this hour, the armorer's workshop is closed. Let's travel. Let's check on our fish. Let's see if the fish trap had any luck. You pull the rope and see 3 fish flopping fish inside. You prepare your axe, then open the lid and reach in for your catch. You stun the animals one by one with 2 careful blows at the top of their heads, then finish them off with a knife, cutting underneath the gill plates. You spend another minute or 2 bleeding out the fish in the stream, then cover them with a waxed linen sheet. You should eat them soon before they spoil. You better believe we're gonna eat them soon. Inventory. We got 3 fish. Caught and killed by you. It would be better to put them to use soon before they spoil. Eat. Eat. How do I eat them? Maybe we just go and sell them. Maybe we just sell them. We have enough rations we can eat. I set the fish trap again. But at least sealing the lid takes only a moment. I step away. Awesome. We won't get any cleaner. Okay. Let's go to the map. Wait, we can't. I want to travel. I step away. Travel. Okay. So I guess we have to somehow cook them to eat them. But we don't really have the tools to make any fires. I think we head up to Howler's Dell. It's a village of farmers, so maybe they don't need food. I just heard a weird jingle jangle. Did anybody else hear that jingle jangle? What does that mean? We could go up here. Try and sell the fish. I think it'll be a low amount. How long does it take to go back here? 45? This is an hour. Maybe we head back here, sell the fish. I think they have a lot of food. They're farmers and animal breeders, so they aren't going to give us much money for it. Let's head back to Pelt to the North. Sell our fish. I get off. I go to the innkeeper. He moves by. Let's see what you got. A raw fish. Don't put it on the counter if you may. He glances at your catch at the stove. My crew doesn't hunt for fish. The lakes and rivers are too far away, and they ain't trained with all the weaving worms and rods. Sell me 2 at once, and I'll give you a coin. I ain't wasting the firewood on just 1. 2 fish for 1 coin? This is rare for these guys. Deal. You pulled some other ones. Okay, we got 1 fish. How do we eat this? Is there a way we can cook the fish? Do we have a travel set? What's this? What? The tree. The tree. The tree. Travel. Go to the tree. Sacrifice the fish. I approach the altar. I make an offering. Raw fish. You put the fish on the altar. It's now a bit dirty. Damn it. Can you cut the fish or something? Maybe this? A winged hourglass? Did we try that before? I don't think we tried that before. A winged hourglass. Let's try it. I make an offering. What is your sacrifice? A winged hourglass. Nothing happens. I make an offering. Fish blood. Damn it. I try something else. I really don't want to cut myself open and sacrifice more blood. Dang. Okay, travel. What time of day? We still got lots of time in the day. I don't think the fish is just gonna rot super quickly. So I say we eat some rations. Let's double up. We're gonna double up. We're strong. And let's travel to the south. The shapes of mounds are cutting through the horizon. The water gets gradually less muddy. The cleaner it gets, the more animals you see. A family of deer blocks the road, resting and enjoying the cold water, which would be deadly for a human stomach. You consider riding around them through the sparse meadow, but your presence also causes them disquiet. Without much haste, they regroup and run east into the leafy forest. Okay, I travel forward. You've reached Hag Hills, the wall of stones that has blocked the city's grasp. The one well-established route through them leads through the valley where you found Tullia's camp. There are no maps of the highlands, no local tribes, only stories. The beaten path leads you by the garden beds of herbs and vegetables to an old yet not abandoned mine, hidden behind a massive door made of steel. There's no hitching rail for a mount. A bearded, skinny elder sits on a bench, observing you like a sculpture, with his legs crossed and fingers interlocked on his abdomen. Be supportive and cordial. Good day to you. Don't worry about my horse, I'll keep it away from your garden. I look around, I think someone has swallowed your wall, old man. I get off my horse respectfully. Without a word, I observe him from the saddle silently. I get off my horse, and with a lowered head, I approach him. I'm seeking your guidance, old man. A bearded, skinny elder sits on a bench, observing you like a sculpture with his legs crossed and fingers interlocked. Maybe we try and be a little bit more friendly. I feel bad always doing the distance thing. It is what like the character would kind of do, but maybe he'd be intimidating. Just observe. He's observing us. We can observe him. That's so stupid. It's so stupid, but if someone's glaring at us like that, he's just watching us and not saying hello as we approach, we observe him from the saddle silently. After a silent minute, the man bursts out laughing. You didn't ever have time to touch the ground? If you're going to dwell there, better speak loud and clear, oh brave vanquisher. But do not expect me to welcome a brigand with chatter. Before you answer, he reprimands you with a thick accent. I need you to look me whilst you speak. I cannot hear you without magic, but I'll read your lips. 'Tis a refugee, for those who are trusted, in a sinny friendly breath to ye, in ye. Say, what are you looking for, and leave me be. He doesn't yell, but his voice reminds you of a combat instructor from the city. His face is wrinkled, but he sits straight, with beard and hair still carrying glimpses of fair blonde. He's tanned like a worker, and his eyes are blue and piercing, as if they belong to an infant. I think that worked. He respects us. I explain who I am. What do you call him? Example, old man. Pardon me. We call him Good Sir. He stares off across the garden beds, forcing you to wait in silence. The elder is tall, with long hair and a beard that was let loose a long time ago. His sandals are covered in dust, and you spot dirt on his clothes and skin. The wooden tunic and linen were made with care, decorated with colored threads of the collars and sleeves. Now all the blues and greens have faded, and the fabric is held together by patterned stitches. His hands are still full. The voice remains firm. You do not know our customs, your name, your trade, your calling mean naething to the forest. I do not know what you expect to find here, but this is nae place for strangers. I wait for him to look at me. I do my best not to smirk. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I wait for him to look at me. Look at me. The man stands up and approaches you at your palfrey. Without touching it, it observes its eyes, main, stomach, and rear. Gordon ignores this examination. My nose was right then. Astarion is dead, as are his plans. Such is the fate of all dreamers. He turns toward you with a grim look. Are you to look for him? You nod. Why? If he's vanished into the fogs, there's no point in putting yourself in danger. What do you expect to find? What is going on here? It's a job. There's a reward. He may need my help. I need to know what kind of danger he encountered. If he's dead, I want people to know about it. If someone tried to make him disappear, there's no reason why you need to know that. I need to know what kind of danger. If he's dead, I want people to know about it. I need to know what kind of danger he encountered. That's our main job. Like, it is a job, there's a reward, of course. We're trying to make money for our siblings. But at the same time, we need to know what's going on here. I need to know what kind of danger he encountered. He's observing you carefully. Do you plan to get rid of this danger? Or maybe learn from Astarion's mistakes, huh? Or are you still thinking about leaving this land for good? He starts to chuckle. Only right questions should bring you the answers. With lively steps, he heads toward the spring. He washes his hands once again, forcing you to wait. Old people need time to gather their thoughts. He tries to dictate the pace of the conversation and put me in my place. He is. Like, this guy is smarter than it looks like. He's not this old man who needs time to gather his thoughts. His voice is cold and confident. So, what do you need? I know how I should have addressed you. I want to fix my mistake. I have no idea how I should have addressed him. Have you met Astarion? This must be somebody... Maybe the Druids or something? What can you tell me about this place? How can you survive in this place being all by yourself? What can you tell me about the peninsula? I've heard about some bandits. Were they bothering you? Can you tell me anything about the altar near the crossroads? I do want to know more about that. I'm trying to learn more about this trapper Erastos. Oh, there's so many things I want to look. Ooh. A cat. Ooh. Oh, there's... Okay, this is going to be a lore-heavy one, I think. We're going to spend a lot of time talking to this guy. How I should have dressed you. Let me look at our journal. Groups and places. Humans. We do not know anything about him. Quest. Is the old man... Oh, we got that done. Support for Howler's Den. Merchants... Maybe I should buy a flask or two from the monks. Matchmaking, Galaxia Bannies. I've heard more details than the Saurian. It's a larger than ours. Okay. Groups and places. The Druids. Each group of Druids is different, but most of them are pagan mages who specialize in taming the wilderness. I can find the local Druids in the village of Howler's Den, the Western Road. We probably need to learn more from them if this is a Druid. He spoke a little bit like a Druid would speak. I'm gonna quickly scan this stuff, and I'll come back to you guys if I find anything important. Otherwise, we'll move on. Uno momento, blah, blah, blah. All right, I skimmed through the glossary and some of the lore. I couldn't find anything that specifically mentioned like about elders and what they might have, what title they might have. So I think we need to talk about that more. Now that we've met this person, we might be able to dress them properly. I want to learn more about Erastos. Are you sure he's a trapper still? His tone is inquisitive. I spoke with him in this very place not so long ago, and he was convinced he's going to take a lighter craft. Okay, that's good to know. I've heard about some bandits. Were they bothering you? He strokes his beard, but then grasps it nervously. There are souls who steal from White Marshes, a village in the north. They wouldn't dare show up here. Well, those brigands are brute simpletons. Ever their leader, Glacier, listens only to force and will humiliate for the enjoyment of a band. She will never be afraid to lose a lost Roadwarden. He has a moment of memory loss. He lets go of his beard and lowers his head. She's drifted so far away from her old self. A kind, bright girl from Gale Rocks, loved by her parents. But now, duty cross her, she'll find you. Have you met Astarion? He wanders among the garden beds, from time to time touching the leaves at hand. He was here, more than once. He was never one to stand aside and let events play out by themselves. The villagers from the north are sometimes in need of my assistance, and Astarion was serving them as a messenger. He bends down and tears away a small, flowerless plant. He wanted to settle down among these roads, maybe to live freely. He had great plans and wanted to make them real flourish, to rebuild the ruins, to get rid of the brigands and clear the trade route. I told him that the forest needs no more people, and that this realm is too wild to feed and clothe everyone. His greed and dreams have eaten him, and now he has no more. He pauses, and you can hear his heavy breathing as if he's getting tired. He straightens up.
Now that's that, traveler. If you want to look for his shell, travel north. Far north. People there should know what he is. Where he is. Well, I'll do that.
He's observing your lips.
Do you need anything else?
Is he about to kiss me? What a twist.
Anything else you might require?
How can you survive in this place? His raised voice makes him sound like a preacher.
One day, me and my wife, we're but defenseless old people. We studied pneuma and leaves for many decades. I heal wounds and illnesses of humans and animals alike. And the beasts listen to our whispers. The holy seed lets our shells wait for death in strength.
Okay. So he's like some kind of alchemist healer? Can you tell me anything about the altar? He smiles.
Ah, 'tis the tree that you should pay attention to, the true gift from the forest. It answers to our offerings and rewards us with its magnificent fruits. They heal both shell and soul, and make anyone who eats them stronger than they ever were. We gather around this altar whenever the winter ends, and whilst it requires a painful sacrifice from all of us, it prepares one's soul for the future like nothing else could.
Okay, so this may give us benefits if we give it our blood. Maybe we're gonna go cut ourselves. I want to know what happened to the village.
And I'm not willing to tell you that.
He raises his chin and his beard shakes.
A shameful tale ought to be kept in the past, for the sake of the living.
Alright, he doesn't want to talk about that. What can you tell me about the druids? He strokes his beard gently.
I will not share our past with strangers. We are the people of Howler's Dell, and of the lands around it.
So he is a druid. I knew it! It seems like the path at the heart of the woods is quite dangerous.
It has a long and darkness past, and already caught many souls of its builders. 'Tis paved with blood, and the last 10 years have revealed it was all for nothing. Since the days of...
He glances at you, once again surprising with you how shiny and lively the blueness of his eyes is. Blueness of his eyes is.
Of grand discord, the tribes of this land are locking themselves in their fields and houses, too afraid to leave them behind, too untrusting to meet other souls unguarded. 'Tis ne'er the first road to be claimed back by the wilderness, and will ne'er be the last.
You ask if he has any tips for you on how to survive such a trip, and he tells you it would be wiser to just avoid it. He then reaches to his pocket, grabs a leaf, and puts it in his mouth, chewing gently.
Death may take many paths to a stranger, but cats are the one enemy that's both as dangerous in its stealth as in combat. No human can fight it alone. If you see one of them, and it's ne'er too late, do not provoke it. Make it wary, but ne'er scared. Look big, talk a lot. Seek its action in its eyes.
Is he talking about cats? Cats are the enemies? Don't provoke it? Look big and talk a lot? Or cats? Okay. What can you tell me about the peninsula?
I've lived here almost a century. Traveled both by the paths and through the wilderness.
His voice becomes stronger and makes you think of a bard.
But I will never be a guide or a teacher. If there's anything I could wish for, it is that you will stay away from the woods. The creatures get angrier the more we take from them. They didn't listen to our warnings, and one day they'll bury us under a storm of claws and fangs. There will be no soul to spare, a tear after us.
His eyes are harsh as a hawk's, making him look like a priest who hears a child asking for honey on a day of ceremonial fasting.
Do not poke the hornet's nest, do not ride east, and never use the path that runs through the heart of this land. That road was meant to save time, but brings only death. Be a servant, nay an overseer. Do not try to bend this place to your will.
He points at you and wags his finger after every word.
Your will, anyone's will, is the key to danger, nay salvation.
I thank him. These instructions are in line with my own thoughts. I'm not going to be anyone's puppet. I need to take some risk to achieve my goals. I don't want to go through the heart of the forest if it's filled with, like, man-eating cats. Those things are unpredictable. But we do need to take some risks. I need to take some risks, old man. He's observing your lips. Do you need anything else? What can you tell me about this place?
Your eyes sees what there's to know. People found copper in my cave. It's been abandoned for a long time now, so we turned it into a shelter to stay close to the sacred tree and its altar. We're servants, my wife and I, and this place is nothing more than a servant's house.
That's a lie. There's something dark and dank inside there. I'm looking for a job. He looks at the garden beds.
We have everything we need.
Can I enter the cavern? I need a place to rest.
Why would allow a stranger to do such a thing?
You're not wrong, old man. We need to talk to the druids and find out how to address you. Travel. We're going back to the beholder tree. We did cut off its leg. I approach the altar. I make an offering. Blood. How much? Oh, I can't offer any more of my currency. I make a deep cut. I make a slight cut on the palm. It'll only hurt a little. Just a few drops. We did the few drops a little bit. I think we got to make a deep cut. Oh! Your blood spills on the altar and sinks into it before it gets to the edge. The tree greets your offering with the sound of moving, stretching branches. You try to ignore the pain and prepare water and bandages to take care of the wound. I walk away. Well, what the hell, tree? Okay, maybe we're even. I took your leg, and I gave you my blood. We're even Stevens. Damn it, though. The Elder's Cave. Do I have to call him Elder? We're gonna go here and ask about these people. We can't talk to the druids, though, sadly. I head to the stables. I'm broke. I got nothing. I got 1 coin and a fish. I'm broke. I'm too tired. We need 2 vitality. Damn. I was meant to speak with Erastus for Dalit. I want to talk to people about him, though. I had to buy him. You know Erastus, right? She doesn't stop her work better than I know you. He doesn't want to talk to me. Alright. Let's go to the main square. I approach Akakios. Any issues with him? He wags his long finger. What do you mean? He broke something again? And what now? He wants me to pay you back? Tell him to fix it on his own. Or grab him and drag him here. You wait for a few moments, not sure if you should ask how many times such a thing has happened before. His breath is heavy. Okay. This person sounds like they're not really committed to trapping. They're clumsy and maybe not very reliable. I bring goods to sell. Surprise me. A raw fish. Take it to Eric's there. He nods towards the innkeeper's counter. Okay, I see. What do you have for sale? Okay. Nothing for now. Let's go to Eric's. Chance with talk with this person lately? Eyes are gentle. Poor kid. Is he in trouble again? You mentioned that someone wants to offer him a job, but the innkeeper lets out a sigh and leans against the counter. Maybe that's for the better. Lately, he's been struggling around here. While he's far from eager to share the details, one part in particular catches your attention. That's the thing with the bad affection. You see, my wife was clear he ought to stay away from our daughters until both him and they pass 20, but 'tis easier said than done. Oh. Oh. I caught some nice fish. Would you like to barter? He raises a fish to sniff it. There are many fish in our creek. I'll put them in a soup or bake them for a sauce. How many do you have? I'll give you a healthy meal for each one. I'll take one. That's awesome. Okay, we're full up on rations. I also go to look for the mayor. Thias is here. Okay. Erastus. She makes an odd grimace, trying to smile while expressing confusion. I doubt there's much to say here. He's just a trapper and not the best one. I bring you news. I don't want to help them still. Thank you for your time. I guess we can't really sleep yet. I want to ask about, well, I guess we can talk with Erastos. You ask an archeress if she can point you to the trapper, and she directs you beyond the walls to the edge of the northern pasturage. There, next to the creek, a lone wanderer examines simple box traps. They're placed every few steps, and judging by the man's empty sack, so far all of them have turned out to be empty. Hearing your steps, the man sends you a glance, but soon returns to his task. In the city, he'd barely be seen as an adult. His facial hair is sparse and light, and he's shorter and slimmer than most women in his tribe. His elegant dark blue tunic suits his tan skin, and the long dagger he's carrying has a carved handle. He's crouching, looking towards the other bank, and playing with blades of grass. Dalit heard you're interested in heading south. He turns his head only slightly, as if it's easier than raising his voice, but he still avoids looking at you.
Shadid, are you taking me there?
His voice is surprisingly deep, adding to his years. Won't you miss home? Can you survive in the woods? That's all I wanted. I don't think this guy is fit. Can you survive the woods? He gives you a puzzled look.
Why would I? I'll go with the group. Dig holes, sharp and stick. This day like I'm going to put anyone in danger.
What are you going to bring to the table? He waves at the boxes.
You see? Got hair yesterday. Nay, in a box and a snare. I can cut and dress belts too.
You wait for a bit longer, but he adds nothing more. Won't you miss home? He drops the grass on the ground, stands up, and wipes his hands against his pants.
Nah, they want to talk to.
This job is much more difficult than you think. His voice grows frustrated.
All hunters act as if they're masters of the woods, but they die all the time.
He grabs the nearest box. One of the walls turns out to be loose, so he adjusts it quickly and starts to wander away.
Just give me a chance to do what you want and I'll do it. I can go any day, any hour.
I guess that's that. I don't think he's a good match. I had to buy on the tailor. I don't think we can do really anything right now. We're gonna do a quick save. I think because we just like stabbed ourselves pretty brutally, I think we just gotta sleep. Like wait and then sleep. If we wait, is it going to give us a heart back? It's not resting. I'm really afraid to travel in this condition. And we still don't know how to get through. Like we can't go this way. We can't go this way. And we can go this way, I think, but it's going to slow us down significantly. What's this? Did we not go here? Did I miss this part? I thought we went this way. And it went here, didn't it? Oh, maybe not. Okay. Oh, it's a little dangerous, but let's see what's over here. Let's try it. The path is clear in a way. The pebbler is nowhere in sight. Oh, right, the pebbler. But the road is covered with leaves and broken branches. The only fruit-bearing trees are growing right on the side of the road, surely planted there by humans. There are many more fruits and leaves the monster may chew on, so it may return any day now. It requires 2 vital and too tired to climb so many trees and chop their branches. Damn, we could have went and got all the food. Who knows, maybe it won't be back. The corridor of prune trees leads you to a steep ascent. Behind them grows a peaceful meadow filled with flowers and crickets and the humming of a waterfall. On the beaten path you spot no footprints or wheel trails, but there's smoke on the horizon. I dismount and lead Gordon on a rope. The pastures and fields are spread over an unnatural plateau. Humans must have been carving in the hill for generations, covering it with soil brought here in buckets and wagons. Among the weeds and tall grasses you spot rotting tools and a tunic. The pasture is overgrown and so are the fields. Some of the oats are ready for harvest. Shit. Something is wrong. I prepare my axe. Yeah, I think something is definitely wrong if there is rotting tools and a tunic. Someone's dead here. Oh, damn it. I stay calm. Maybe if we draw our axe, it's gonna get us in trouble. Humans might have been carving in the hills for generations. The pasture's overgrowing so it feels some of the oats. I stay calm. The locked gate is taller than a troll, and you can't imagine climbing up the massive wall. For a moment, you follow the path to the edge of the cliff. The roaring ocean is more than 100 feet below you. You spot no one looking at you from the watchtower. No patrols of archers. The wall is occupied by black and blue birds of various types. You return to the gate and focus on the sounds. There are a few screaming ibixes. A young boy is crying. I knock on the gate with my fist. The thudding scares away the birds. They caw loudly, starting the cacophony of throats and flapping wings. After maybe a minute, you hear a bronze plate scratching against the wood as someone reveals the peephole. The strict female voice stops you from moving closer. Traveler, old Pagos is secluding, for it has been smitten by a deadly plague. Be gone before ye get sick. I introduce myself. Then keep your distance. I'm a Roadwarden. I need to stay healthy. Do you need any help? I'm the new Roadwarden. Let your Roadwarden in. I can handle the sore throat. Just introduce. We can't welcome ye with bread nor meat. You look into the young brown eyes that match the skin of the black-haired owner. While the woman looks like a southerner, she has a strong local accent. She follows you cautiously without blinking, like a fighter awaiting a strike. We parted with a dozen souls already. The monks in the north are masters of spells and potions, guided by the rite themselves, yet even they can't help us. You hear more footsteps gathering near the entrance, and a weak voice of an elder chips in. May them be blessed, for they look after our ill. The woman continues, ye won't find shelter here. We ought not drown other tribes with us, such as our duty. A pause, even if they would not show us such kindness. I have a few questions. Ask, but there's not much we can do for ye. We see no one, we travel nowhere, we were born on this hill, and we'll die here. After a few breaths, her eyes get kinder. I'm Tertia. If you bring any news, I'll take them to our council. Tell me more about the illness. What does it do? She glances at someone or something that stands to her right. It lasts a long time. Even those who seem to avoid death remain weak for days. There are fevers, headaches, red faces, red eyes, and rash. Those whom had to burn were sleeping and raving, unable to understand us, and got too weak to move or even drink. She looks down. Children and elderly suffer the most. Well, this is starting to sound quite familiar, doesn't it? Why don't you harvest the crops? Even though her cold gaze doesn't break, her voice betrays her pain. Some of our youth refuse to stay behind the walls. They say they need to leave before they fall sick. If we were to let them outside, one of them could refuse to come back. You frown. No, it wasn't pain, what you've heard. It's shame. Have you ever met this Erastos person? She speaks slowly. Remind me who that is. After your brief description, she still needs to ask for some advice. I believe he was here, yes, but soon left to ask the monks for their guidance. Rather unusual. Her voice gets cold. For a pagan. Were you bothered by any bandits? Not in years, Warden. They did attack us on the road once before, but their little pack won't come here. At first, her tone is gentle, but after she blinks twice, it turns solemn. Or they would face our anger. Our walls still fear only dragons. Our blades are made of steel. Do you want me to ask the other villagers? Sure. There's no love between us and them. We don't share drinks, stories, or dances. If it weren't for marriages, our children would never see each other. And if it wasn't for trade, we could just well live on a mountain peak. They need our stone. We need fishes and salt from Gale Rocks, game meat from creeks, and grain from Howler's Den. But all of them are harpies, led by greed and lust, the same ills that wounded our grandparents. She hesitates and looks to her left. Still, the wicked souls of White Marshes are even more burrowed in the shadows. Sounds like you hold a grudge against them. She takes a deep breath. Yet I won't spread any rumors. As much as it saddens me, they need us to survive, and we need them. And you're even stranger to us than they are. Yeah, it doesn't trust us yet. I'm looking for Asterion. You can't tell anything from her eyes. Isn't he dead? What makes you think that? I'd say that about any traveler who disappeared in the wilds. Wardens may know their roads, but they're not above humans. Don't you know the saying? Wait 2 days for the lost, 10 for the wounded, 20 for the ill and mad. You don't wait for more. So you were waiting for him. That's not much of a secret. She looks to her right, then at you again. Head far east to the crossroads. You'll find a watchtower, an old building made of her stone. You notice the pride in her voice, but hardly used since the war. Your friend wanted to turn it into a shelter, hire guards, patrol the roads. He took our key and rode away. He was meant to meet with us again, trade for materials and tools. Never happened. Any idea who else could have such a key? Before it was completed, the builders were spending the rainy days in the coastal village far north. Gale Rocks, it's called. Ask there. Which way would you take if you were to travel to the watchtower? The northern route most likely. There's more tribes there, but the eastern road is dangerous. No matter from which way you're going to enter it. But if you care about time, she hesitates, you could check out the gate. Though opening it on your own may not be easy. It used to be that our guards were keeping it from the travelers, but the last one that we sent away, Quintus, is either dead or seeking refuge in another village. Still, behind the gate you'll find the shortcut. It's a dangerous path, but your palfrey may just be fast enough to get you to the other end. You can ask her what she can tell you about this gatekeeper, and she gives you a warm look. He may not be the sharpest wits, but he's loyal to his duty and returns kindness with kindness, like we all should. Interesting. I met Quintus, he's doing fine. So he's still with us. Her voice rings with enthusiasm. She asks about his well-being, reacting to your story with a mixture of worry and joy. I'm sorry to hear about his nose. I hope he knows what he's doing. In his position, I would just look for work in Howler's Den or ask for help from his friends at Pelt. People from the other tribes are looking for spouses. She blinks as if the question reached her from another realm. We can't be sure of the next spring, even less so that our gates will ever open. I can't offer you any promises from the tribes, Do you have anything for sale? Nothing, eh? We hardly have anything for ourselves. We used to get supplies for rocks and sculptures, but the monks advised against it. Our wares may carry the illness. Okay, there's absolutely nothing we can really do here. I'd love to, like, bring them food, maybe, to help build trust. Okay, travel. Or we can keep going north. What's the time? Day 5, 8 hours before dusk. We need more vitality. But we've come this far, might as well take a quick peek. You ascend a gentle hill with green thickets coating the valleys. The path is like an endless bridge built by the ancient three-legged giants, or maybe the pagan spellcasters. The higher you get, the fewer plants you see. Hit by a cold wind, you adjust your cloak. I ride slowly, sitting in the center of the saddle. Mountains are harsh for horses. Holy. You approach the raised drawbridge and observe the face of the mountain. The hooks holding the hourglass are as large as a person, displaying their devotion to the right proudly. It took tremendous wealth and labor. What a waste of steel. I wonder who's responsible for polishing it. The temples in the city are even grander. Yeah, to make something like that would have been a lot of money and labor. The rustling of leaves carries no songs of birds, shouts of apes, or whines of hunted critters. The river attacks its banks with a fierce roar. You get off your palfrey. The cave mouths are connected by paths, stairs, and bridges. You don't see any people, but there's smoke coming from one of the entrances, and you hear muffled thuds of a hammer. The gardens are weeded, the buildings firm. The green trees on the top of the mountain bear red and brown fruits. 2 rounded sticks are tied with a rope to a nearby rock. You grab them and take a closer look. They're claves. I make a few firm hints and shout a greeting at anyone who shows up near the building. I play a tune from a silly counting out rhyme. I make a few firm hits, then wait patiently. I keep hitting them until someone lowers the bridge. We're gonna stay distance, we're hiding our emotions. I make a few firm hits, then wait patiently. The echo of your hits cut through the swashing stream. After a few minutes, 2 hooded figures leave a cave mouth on top of the mountain and give you a long look from the edge of the cliff. Then walk down the path with caution. It takes them a while to reach the buildings made of bricks, not logs, and covered with tiles instead of thatch. Little by little, the bridge gets looser. Then it hits the grass gently. The taller figure, now covered with shadows, invites you with a gesture. I lead Gordon inside. The greeters take off their hoods. They wear brown, dark, simple worn robes and ropes instead of belts. They've no jewelry or ornaments, just small bags made of fabric on their shoulders. The larger shell belongs to a strong, barefoot man in his 50s. Despite having no weapon, his eyes are audacious and could belong to a mussel standing in the door of a harbor tavern. His wrinkles are subtle, but there are only a few tufts of gray hair left on his greasy head. His skin is pale, covered with liver spots, though at a closer look you realize a few of them are just stains left by ink. Salutations, traveler, and thank ye. He hesitates. His voice is hoarse but sonorous. Sonorous? Thank thou for thy patience. This is the place of reflection and prayer. We shan't abandon our duties. He puts his bandaged hand on his stomach and bows. You're at Right's Haven, the last place of peace in the north. As long as thy tongue is clean of lies and thy hands bring no harm, thou wilt not be hurt. I look at the second monk. The girl is about 14, with unsightly acne on her forehead and a robe that brushes the ground whenever she takes a step. Her black hair is tied to a humble ponytail. She observes your horse curiously, cocking her head to a side, but when she catches your look, she meets your eyes boldly, raising her chin as if to challenge you.
Thy mount is free to help itself with hay and water. We'll wait outside. Thou canst stay here for now, but leave before the night. The plague is nearby, the struggle ahead.
The plague is nearby, the struggle ahead. While they indeed leave the room, their trust only goes so far. They observe you through the open door. The building is a single storeroom filled with crates and barrels, a stack of firewood, and another one of bricks, a pile of straws, a chest, 2 wheelbarrows, and finally the rack shelves, tool clothing, and utensils. Light comes from the open gates, accompanied by the sharp draft. I tether Gordon near the water and join the monks. The lack of walls makes you feel exposed. A few pair of eyes observe you from the paths above you, while others either climb to the very top or approach the unremarkable vegetable beds. Most of the dwellers wear hoods, and all of them wear similar worn robes. A chilling wind touches your neck.
I'm not afraid of some wind.
They keep their distance. The man greets you by raising his open palm, wrapped with bandages, then disappear underneath his sleeve. His lips form something between a sneer and a smile.
What brings you here? Art thou a go-between?
The girl keeps an eye on your axe and occasionally glances at your boot, the one that hides a knife.
Well, I'm Stoutworthy, the new Roadwarden.
Good. Well, the roads need their wardens. The folks need their roads, but there are none behind this mountain, and we take care of the one that you've just crossed. Thou dost not need to bother. Thy services are not required.
He gestures for you to wait.
But where's the man with the red beard? There isn't enough work here for the two of you.
Asterion. I was hoping to find him here.
I'm sorry to disappoint thee.
He rubs a liver spot on his hand.
But he hasn't been here in months. We rarely have visitors different than our friends from Old Pagos. We don't invite the outside world, and we don't care much for it. Hast thou checked in Pelt of the North, on the southern road? If he's wounded, it's a safer shelter, I've heard.
The girl scratches the ground with her boot, though it remains hidden underneath her robe. The man looks at her with amusement.
Looks like Decima here is eager to return to her duties. I'm Ailey, but I'll not shake thy hand. One of us could carry the plague in our flesh. Who can know, who can tell? What brings thee to our monastery?
Is there nothing you can do about the plague that has beset Old Pagos? What can you tell me about Asterion? What can you tell me about this Erastus fellow?
I can a lot, but should not. He's a troubled soul.
You ask a few more questions, unable to shatter his patience, and the monk thinks about his words carefully.
He saws alchemists, not rites followers. His heart craves something it can't have, and he begged us for a remedy. But there's no potion that can cut such ties, only time.
When you mention Erastus, sounds like a determined young man. Aleph scoffs.
More like a child who thinks the day they're touching is the only one that will ever come.
Okay. Do you know anything interesting about the path leading through the heart of the woods? I'm trying to learn more about the local bandits. Do you need any help looking for a job? I have some questions about the monastery. Is there nothing you can do about the plague?
Well,
his cough doesn't help his hoarse throat.
We don't understand what makes it grow. We put to use all the ingredients we found, brewed as many potions and bombs as we could, and they worked for one afternoon. Then the people once again fell ill. Who can tell where their sickness dwells? A powerful healer could get rid of it once and for all with a single spell, but no follower of the right in the north carries such talents.
Maybe it's time for someone in the village to look at the source. Could it be Right's punishment? Decima observes you with narrow eyes, then exchanges looks with Ailey, and moves her eyes towards your palfrey, fixing the strand of hair on her ear.
All is possible.
The taller monk is far from convinced.
We asked them, of course, but they're just humans, with lives no worse than many others. Would the right crush their village when they are pagans and necromancers just nearby?
That's fair. What can you tell me about Asterion?
Let me think.
He looks at the sky and clenches his fist around the strap of his bag.
The first time he was here, we asked him to find us some iron and Gale Rock. The second time, he did bring us a few scraps, but he was wounded. A piece of flesh bitten away from his thigh. Said that 100-legged worm had caught him off guard in a meadow. Instead of his pay, we offered him a potion.
Anything noteworthy about the iron he delivered?
Scavenged from furniture. A few of them were rusty. Who knows where he bought them? We melted them for nails.
Tell me about Gale Rocks. He hesitates, but finally nods.
Just some seaweed eaters. Their soil is barren, but the strongest of them spend their days on the boats among the sharp rocks. Those who can't hunt for fish boil water to make salt. They trade with other villages more than anyone in the peninsula for crops, wood, meat.
He snorts.
But they're weak folk, weak and angry, like a wolf beaten and kicked from a pup. Loud, ready to bite, but all it takes is for someone to raise their hand. Then he jumps away and whispers.
I'm starting to lose this one. It's starting to blend into other voices. We're gonna take a break from the voices. I need some hydration. He lets go of his bag. At least they follow Wright's teachings. Do you know anything interesting about the path? What do you know about the necromancers? He rubs the liver spots on his forearm with his bandaged hand, looking with one eye in his short companion. Listen to that. What's your stance on necromancy? He pulls his fingers, gathering his thoughts. My stance? I don't need one. I trust the right. The dead makers must be weeded out. Their power brings only fogs. One may think the spellcaster is in control of the shells, but once they lose their breath, the dead are freed, searching for blood. Humans will never control the dead. That's fair. How does one deal with them? Well. Is it a single corpse, a squad, an army? Thou needest to learn how shrewd the enemy is. Can it sense thy presence? Can it use bows or spells? As long as thou art alone, it's always better to run. The older empty ones, even more so those that weren't awoken by the fogs, get cunning, human-like, but with cruelty thou hast never seen. I've heard I can find them in the northwest. He nods. Head back to the crossroads, then north, then right into the bogs. There you'll find the White Marshes. The tribe used to forage and gather peat, but now it follows Orentius, their priest. Who knows, maybe he's the reason why so many travelers have disappeared on the roads. Decima scratches the ground with her boot, humming a tune, but Ailey tells her to shut up. He carries on with sudden anger. The story is as old as the Wright's tablets. Tribes look at the monsters and ask themselves, how can we use them? Their pride pushes them into their own fall. They hurt the innocent, then vanish in flames, or awake as empty ones. Any thoughts on Orentius? He's never been here. He's locked in that hut, a prisoner of his own conscience, speaking to his tribe as to children. Could there be a darker joke? A necromancer who calls himself a prophet? As he snorts, Decima puts on a wide grin. What next? An emperor bathing in blood? No follower of the Right could survive such a fall. What was White Marshes like before the arrival of the priest? Far from lovely. His smirk softens as his eyes grow worried. It's been struggling for years, with food, children, the beasts of the bogs and traders. They were strangers to us, even in the old days, when they used to join old Pagos in the pagan feasts. He looked at Decima, who listens to this tale curiously, but then the monks arrived, and that bridge went down with flames. When the missionaries reached the bogs during the years of war, there are already some wounds that could never be sealed, not even by a shared prayer. Let's return to my other questions. There's something weird going on with this guy. Like, the monks, they're constantly, like, correcting their words to speak properly. It's almost as if they're lying, like they're not the actual monks that are supposed to be here. And this girl that keeps, like, staring at my weapons, I'm wondering if it's a cry for help. You know what I mean? Like, she's needing help, and these people are not the monks, they're just acting. I'm trying to learn more about the local bandits, then ask in the villages. He looks at the wooden entrance hall behind you. No group is going to bother us, for they've got no understanding to our pneuma and potions. Why can't I spend a night here? Want us to give thee a chest and a weapon rack too? Or maybe feed thy mouflons in our gardens? Or ask us to bed with thou? It's not an inn. We respect the hardships of one's journey, so we don't scare off the strangers who cross the mountains, but we don't let them wander around and take our time for granted. He looks at his bandaged hand, makes a fist, then opens it with stretched out his fingers. Maybe with old Pagos locked, our old rules too shall changed. Would you like to barter? Not today, not before the spring. Our order uses every bottle we use to help the sick from old Pagos, as well as to protect ourselves. I could bring you dragon bones or something that doesn't grow in the mountains. He looks at the steel hourglass hanging from the wall. Taste softness, tools of murder, we shall crave not. One thing we lack are delicacies we could offer to the sick and weak, but thou wilt not find such a thing in the sad land. Okay. I was asked to look for a healing potion for a trader, Akakios. A brief mention of the dolmen is enough to spark an understanding gleam in the monk's eyes. I know of this place, even spent the night there once or twice, but if thou truly thinkest it hides stuff from our eyes, head to someone who cares about these paths. Try Foggy. He turns his head around, scratching his ear. The tavern keeper of the northern crossroad. She might have heard something. Do you know anything interesting about the path leading through the woods? Do you need any help? I'm looking for a job. Do you need help? He puts his hands together with repeatedly taps his fingers. After a few breaths, he straightens up. No. Absolutely not. Do you know anything about the heart of the woods? I used to, but like all places that belong to the beast, it shifts every year. The only reason why it still has trails at all is that creatures use our roads as their own game trails. Only a dimwit would try to cross it now. After you ask him if he knows any such person, he takes a deep breath. Well, last I've heard, Quintus, the gatekeeper from Alpagos, is missing or dead. He's a brute and an idiot, can't understand jokes, can't stand weaklings. If ye, though ever meet him, just smile and let him speak as much as he needs to. Shut up. I have some other questions. Oh. Ooh, can we learn about... I don't think the guy down there is a monk. I'm pretty sure he's a druid. I was wondering, tell me about afraid. Does this place have a leader of sort? Let's return to my other questions. Okay, that's it. I don't really want to go through all of this right now. I don't think we're gonna have time to go through it all. Let me take a quick look at the map. So we've made it to the edge here. I'm worried about trying to go backwards past that the pebbler that's in the field. Maybe he's returned, but if we don't return today, he might return tomorrow. So this is getting quite dangerous, I think, for us to stay here too long and continue exploring. And the time is there. Let's return to my other questions. So if I travel... Yeah, this is the end of the road this way. The monks of the Order of Truth. How are we going to get that potion? Okay, well, we're going to think about this. But I think what we have to do is head back, I guess, back to the city. Do some work around there. I think we need to get health. We need to get money. We need to get funds and kind of build up our character. Maybe we're trying to progress the quest too much and we need to take our time. We got 40 days. I think we're on day 8. So maybe we got to take some time. I don't really want to cross through these dang bugs again. Anyway, until the next one, I have to stop here because I have to get some dinner. As always, it's a pleasure to have you around for the story time with Stout. This game is so fascinating. It's a real treat. And until the next one, enjoy whatever you enjoy doing, and we'll see you then. Ta-ta.